Good evening. It was a somber moment this afternoon as members of the public joined the Lloydminster RCMP to honor 3 Mounties killed by a gunman in Moncton, New Brunswick last week. Now, the Border City Memorial joins others that are popping up in communities across the country. As Bart Pediasic reports, it was a chance to reflect what happened that day, as well as take a look at the realities of what RCMP and other law enforcement officials in Canada have to deal with.
It was a moment of silence as members of the Lloydminster Royal Canadian Mounted Police started the memorial with a special march to honor the fallen. The Lloydminster Hope statue was the focus of the ceremony. Originally created as a tribute to the RCMP, today it serves as a reminder of the sacrifice involved in the job. Constable Fabrice Georges Gévaudan, Constable Douglas James Laroche, and Constable Dave Ross died in the line of duty last week. The local memorial was the idea of Joe Belyea, a former 20-year member of the RCMP himself. He says he experienced similar loss when he was an officer in Regina.
Back in 1970, 2 of my very, very personal friends were killed at McDowell. And I asked from Regina to go to McDowell and help search for the killer. And that really hit me hard. And then when this come along, it really hit hard.
The local detachment jumped at the chance to be a part of the ceremony. Staff Sergeant Joe Wenisch says the Brotherhood of RCMP officers is close around the country, and the events in Moncton really shook everyone up.
You do become a closer family with your troop mates. You share stories and goals and stuff, but you also can talk to each other just like a family does and help each other heal.
The deaths made an impact on more than just officers, as dozens of civilians took time out of their day to commemorate those that were lost.
These men and women put their lives on the line every day for us, and I think that it's a thankless job, and I think it's important to all step up and realize the sacrifice that they make for our communities and for our country.
As for Belyea, he says he's proud of the turnout despite it being announced last minute, as both the public and RCMP remember his fallen comrades.
Once a Mountie, always a Mountie, just like a brother, eh?
Bart Pediasic, Newcap News.
Now, CKSA will have live coverage of the funerals tomorrow morning from 9 a.m. to noon. We will also have more on the Moncton shootings, including today's RCMP visitations, a little later in our broadcast. Well, according to City Council, more land around Lloydminster's perimeter is needed to keep up with growth. As Anika Nottveit reports from Council, the development of a committee was approved today to negotiate these changes.
Today at Council, the talk of city growth continues. A committee was put in place today to start the negotiations with the outlying RMs and municipalities about the annexation process.
We're going to grow our city footprint by 40% if this annexation goes through in the way in which it's been crafted. And that's to meet the demand that's already been identified. We're not speculating about what we may need. We're talking about what we do need.
Also, the city and the Lloydminster Rescue Squad came to a memorandum of understanding today, and the squad will be staying in their building for another 1.5 years.
It'll offer some time for everybody to take a look at what would they do, including probably the rescue squad that, on their own, they'll say, okay, we have that time. Do we want to do something on our own? Do we want to work with the 3 municipalities?
We'll have more details on these stories tomorrow on Newcap News. Stay tuned. Reporting from City Hall, Anika Nottveit.
Well, seniors' care in our area continues to be in the spotlight. Members of the public who are concerned with the general care of seniors are invited to attend a special meeting this week. Now, the Lloydminster Concerned Citizen Society has been advocating for more continuing care beds and are frustrated with the lack of activity and response to the problem.
At the end of March, we had a progress report from the Assistant Deputy Minister of Health, Christine Couture, and she outlined a timetable whereby the report would be made public. It hasn't been made public.
Both health ministers from Saskatchewan and Alberta have reviewed the bi-provincial report, but the society is worried it will fall by the wayside once again.
There was a glimmer of hope there. And we're not just sure what to make of this now that it's so far behind. We were promised public consultations. That didn't happen. We were promised a thorough investigation or a feasibility report on the Dr. Cook, and to our knowledge, that didn't happen.
Now, the public is encouraged to attend the meeting discussing seniors' care in Lloydminster and area on Wednesday, June 11th at 7 o'clock at the Legacy Centre. Now, for more information, you can call Linda Graham at 780-745-2447. Well, Home Depots across the country are supporting more than 100 nonprofit organizations to help put an end to youth homelessness this month. But here in the border city, the Orange Door campaign fundraiser is supporting the Lloydminster Interval Society. Now, each store is selling orange paper doors for $2 at the tills.
100% of the money raised in the store stays in the community. We're certainly looking to break some records over last year. Some of the stores did certainly, $12,000, $13,000 in these a similar campaign. This year we're looking to beat that.
Now, if Lloydminster is one of the top 3 fundraising stores in Canada, the Home Depot Society will match the funds and double the proceeds for the community cause. The Orange Door campaign runs until July 2nd.